Hi, challenge. This week we're doing the past perfect. You may remember the present perfect, which is grammar, meaning anything until now. We use the present perfect, and the past perfect is anything that happens until a time in the past. That's what we're going to practice today. You may wonder if we really need the past perfect, and there are times when you can avoid it, but there are also instances where you have to take the past perfect and you have to know the past perfect, but the grammar is not so hard, so today we're going to practice. I see that 2 people are already in the Kahoot lounge. Let me share my screen. Just a second. Here we go. So here we go. Let me turn the sound up a little bit and we can wait for people to join. So here you can go to the link I have in the live chat up at the top. Hi, Romelia. Hi, Curtis. I think you're new to me playing Kahoot. Like I was saying, you can go to the kahoot.com website or follow the link in the live chat to the game. You can also scan the QR code on your screen that I'm sharing. I have a few slides at the beginning talking about when to use the past perfect. We'll go through those pretty quickly, and then we can practice. Most of the questions today are quiz questions with just one answer. 1 or 2 may be multi-select. And 2 minutes have already passed, so I think we can start soon. Let me just share the PIN code in case anyone joins a little bit late. You have good chances to win a free private conversation lesson. It's a small group today. Okay, let's get started. Past perfect challenge. We're here every Sunday going over grammar points, a new tense every week. The past perfect. We use the past perfect for events that happened before a time in the past, usually leading up to a time in the past. The simple is had plus past participle, as in had done, had eaten, had been. I had done my homework when I went to bed. So I went to bed is in the past. I had done my homework means before that. The continuous is had been doing, had been eating. It's the same rule, except it's for one longer event leading up to a time. I had been drinking coffee when I noticed the time. Now, you can avoid this by using the past simple. You could say, for example, I did my homework and then I went to bed. It has the same meaning. Or I was drinking coffee and then I noticed the time. It's fine to avoid the past perfect in this situation, but there are a couple times when you have to take the past perfect. So one instance is with reported speech. If you report what someone said or what was said or written, then you have to use the past perfect. The past simple and the present perfect simple change to the past perfect simple in reported speech. The past continuous and present perfect continuous change to past perfect continuous, as in, she said she had seen a ghost. So if the person says directly, I have seen a ghost, you have to change the grammar to, she said she had seen a ghost. The same rule applies for the continuous. I have been sleeping would be reported. Miranda said she had been sleeping. You have to change the tense, 1 tense back. Another time you need to use the past perfect is with the third conditional. If plus past perfect plus would have plus past participle. If they had asked for money, I would have given it to them. So this is for conditions in the past. You don't need it too often, but if you need conditions in the past, you have to know the past perfect. I would have offered to help her if she had been behaving nicely. It's not super common, but there are times when you need to use the past perfect continuous. Okay, so that's the last slide. We can get started now. Let me see if there's a comment. Hi, Raccoon. I hope you could join, even if it's a little bit late. We haven't started the quiz questions yet. Which of the following sentences is the past perfect tense? So this one is just about recognizing it. Past perfect tense. They had dinner. They have had dinner. They had had dinner. They were having dinner. Yay, the yellow one is correct. So they had dinner, past simple. They have had dinner, present perfect. That's until now. They had had dinner. It may look strange, but that's the past perfect. Remember, had is the auxiliary verb plus had, which is a past participle. They were having dinner. Extra credit if you can tell me the name of that tense in the comments. They were having dinner, and Romelia is winning with 900 points. It's only one question so far. First, she ate breakfast, then she left the house. How else could you say this sentence? She ate when she left the house. She has eaten when she left the house. Or she had eaten when she left the house. 100% correct. She had eaten when she left the house. Of course, you could avoid the past perfect if you don't like the past perfect and say, first she ate and then she left the house. But sometimes it's nice to change the grammar a little bit. Everyone got that right. Romelia is in first place, Donald second place, and Cortis in third place. Their flight had landed when I arrived at the airport's arrival gate. So for events that happened before a time in the past, use past perfect. What happened first? Plane landed or I arrived? Good. The plane landed before I arrived. You notice that the past perfect came before the past simple. It's always for something that happened before a time in the past. Here's a poll question. Had the internet been invented when you were born? Yes, it had been invented before you were born. One person said no. That's a young person. Welcome, young people. Report this sentence. I have been hungry all day. She said, or he said. He said he has been hungry all day. He said he was hungry all day, or he said he had been hungry all day, which is correct. Good. Yellow's correct. He said He had been hungry all day. Remember, present perfect, I have been hungry, when reported, changes to past perfect. He said he had been hungry. Good job. Donald, too, is on fire. That means he has a winning streak. He's answered several without making a mistake. Here we have a conditional. So fast. If they had studied harder, if plus past perfect, they would have passed the exam. Everything in the past tense using if. Great job. So the score is still the same. The ranking is still the same. Romelia, followed by Donald, then Curtis, and then Donoad. He must have been kicked off. I bet that's Donald too. Which sentence correctly uses the past perfect continuous? Can you remember how we form the past perfect continuous? You have 30 seconds for each question. I know it's a little bit hard to read these long sentences. Okay, the correct answer is they had been cooking. Remember, the continuous always has the ing form. For hours when I arrived. One longer action before the time reference. Good. Now Romelia is on fire. I have to give you some really difficult ones, Romelia. In which sentence is the past perfect tense used incorrectly? Can you find the mistake? Excellent. If he had studied harder, he will pass the exam is not correct. So we don't use the will future with the past perfect. All of the other sentences are correct forms of the past perfect used in sentences. Good job. Which of these sentences uses the past perfect continuous? He had been driving for hours is the correct one. When the car broke down. Very good. The yellow is correct. Do you mean this one, Romelia, with inversion? You can answer in the box. I can't remember exactly what the last one was, but I don't think it was inversion, but I'll check when I watch it on replay and I can answer you. So the live chat is saved. I didn't know that for a while. I have to click an extra box if I want the live chat to be available after. Okay, fill in the blank. Question form. They had never been to that restaurant they went to last night before. I know it sounds a little bit odd, but it's correct. They had never been to that restaurant they went to last night before. They had never been there before. Past perfect. They never went to that restaurant, or they had never been to that restaurant before. Very good. I see your question, Romelia. I just can't remember exactly what the green answer was. But I'll check it. It's probably something with never, could be. Another fill in the blank. He had been watching TV all day when he realized it was already midnight. Very good, 100%. Past perfect continuous. So when he realized he had been watching TV. She hasn't ordered dinner yet because she hasn't had time. So this one, the past perfect is not possible because everything is now, right? She hasn't ordered dinner yet. The time reference is now. Why? Because she hasn't had time now. So this was a little bit of a trick one. I tricked you. Not all of the answers are past perfect. Only the ones where something happened before a time in the past are conditions in the past or reported speech. I died when I found out the store had run out of ice cream. What happened first? Did I die first? Did I find out first? Or was there no ice cream? Good. First, the ice cream ran out, which is why that's in the past perfect. It happened before I died and before I realized that the store had run out of ice cream. Great. All these smart people. Okay, Romelia is still in first place, followed by Donald, Curtis, and then Donald 1. Everyone's doing a great job. 17 out of 20. So we'll check number 13 when we're done for Romelia. Did you eat? Have you eaten? Had you eaten? Or did you used to eat? Uh-oh, I think I forgot the word eat. Green should be did you used to eat? Good. And it's multi-select. Did you eat a lot of sweets when you were a child? So it's only one event in the past. Then you can go ahead and use the past simple. Did you used to eat a lot of sweets when you were a child? Also okay. So used to and past simple can be used for the past. Had you eaten? That's a good question. Had you eaten a lot of sweets when you were a child is not possible because it's only one thing in the past. There's no other time reference in the sentence. So you could say, for example, had you eaten when I saw you yesterday? That would be correct because the time reference is a past, when I saw you. But if there's only one event in the sentence, then you just use the past simple, or the used to you could use, and sometimes would, which can also be. Like I would go swimming as a child. That's also fine for the past tense. Curtis is now second place. Donald 2 fell down to third place, and Romelia is still in the lead. What do you wish you had done more of when you were young? Whole question. What do you wish you had done more of? Good. Sports and music. Nobody said studying. Nobody said foolishness. We did enough of that, I guess. Okay. This is my friend Tony. He had grown up in Italy, has grown up in Italy, grew up in Italy, and was grown up. Again, it's past simple, so it's an old man, so you know it's finished. He grew up in Italy. Has grown up is not possible because it's until now. Was grown up is passive. And had grown up, also not possible because there's no second past tense time reference. When I met you, you had already finished growing up. You had already grown up by the time I met you. That would be possible. By the time I met you, you were already grown up, would be okay, or you had already grown up. And Romelia's on fire again. Gonna be at the finish line soon. Let me remove the banner. Just forget that. Very good. I had been waiting at the bus stop for over an hour when the bus finally arrived. So we have that second time reference there. And I had been waiting beforehand. Donald too, good job. Curtis, very close, second place. And Romelia, again, Romelia wins the grand prize. That'll be nice to have another lesson with you. And let's just see if the summary pops up. And also look at number 13. Romelia had a question about that. Okay, view summary. Let's see, 15. Okay, she hasn't ordered dinner yet. This one should have been because she hasn't had time. It's happening now, not in the past. Their flight had landed when I arrived at the airport's arrival gate. The plane landed before I arrived, right? Because it's the flight had landed before I arrived. And they had been cooking for hours when I arrived. That's the past perfect continuous. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to, it's okay. I'm going to show you the questions. Question 13. Oh, for this one, they had never been to that restaurant they went to last night before. They had never been to that restaurant they went to last night before. Okay, so this is the straightforward question. That's correct, or not question, but statement. They had never been there. And with inversion, maybe you can write the inversion, Romelia, in the live chat, because it's a good question. Oh, that's very sweet of you, Romelia. Romelia says she offers her lesson to number 2. So Curtis, if you would like to have the private conversation lesson, then please contact me and we'll do that together. That's very sweet of you, Romelia. And I love your question about inversion. So inversion, you could begin with never, right? Never. When we use the adverb never, and we want to emphasize the never, then we can begin with it in the sentence. And in that case, we would say, never had they been to that restaurant they went to last night before, right? Never had they been to. It's also grammatically correct, but you don't have to use inversion. If you want to emphasize the negativity of the statement, you want to emphasize the adverb never, then it's possible, but it's not obligatory. You don't have to. I could have put it in the answers as a second choice. That would have been hard, but both would be correct. Thank you, Romelia. You always come with such good questions and comments and do such a good job. So Cortis or Court, could be Court. I think I recognize that name from my email list. Please contact me and then we'll do the private lesson, okay? I'll think of a topic for you unless you have something you'd like to work on. We could practice for an interview or do anything you'd like to work on, maybe past perfect again. That would be fine. Thank you, everybody. Oh, number 14. Just explain one you didn't need. Okay, let me see, 14. He had been watching TV all day when he realized it was already midnight. Is this the one you were talking about, Romelia? I think it was 13, because 13 would have been a good choice for inversion. That's true. Okay. I have Romelia, we can rewatch it, both of us, and then see which other one could have been inverted. But I think 13, I think it was probably 13 would have been a good one. Thank you, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you next week, okay? I'll announce whatever the topic will be, maybe grammar, maybe advanced collocations or something difficult. I'll think about it. Okay, take care. See you later. See you next week.